Before leaving Afghanistan, Prince Harry gave his personal views on his tour in Afghanistan and the challenges he faces when he returns to life away from the front line and as a prince. Our reporter Ali Gibson was in Camp Bastion at the same time as Captain Wales.
Once you're wearing the uniform, you are part of the gang, and fine, I'm the Queen's grandson and all that good stuff, and I'm out here representing her. But to be honest with you, as far as I see it, and as far as William sees it as well, our service towards our country in the military, whichever shape or form it takes, will always come first. You've got to be able to sort of flick the switch all the time. As I think I said a while back, there was sort of three me's. There were, one in the army, one sort of socially, sort of my own private time, and then one sort of with the family and stuff like that. So for me, it's not that normal because I go into the cookhouse and everyone has a good old gulp. And that's one thing that I dislike, because there's plenty of guys in there that have never met me, therefore probably look at me as being Prince Harry as opposed to Captain Wales, which is frustrating. So, there is a switch, and I flick it when necessary. I like to think that it's measured and balanced as the way it is. Army comes first. It is my work. At the end of the day, no one back home gets to see the stuff that I do at work, and there's no reason why they should. Especially working with this aircraft and the stuff that we do, there's no reason why it should be publicised. So that whenever anybody sees me, they presume that I'm off gallivanting around. It is. I mean, I don't want to sound as though I'm whinging, but there are times when, doing all the army stuff and doing public engagements and stuff like that, which is exhausting. Whereas people criticise me, going, "Well, hang on a second. If he's an Apache pilot, how has he got time to go and do these things?" Well, it's very easy. With the guys in London and with the guys at Watersham, they work out a balance. As long as I'm current on the aircraft and as long as I'm not falling behind, then there's an opportunity to go off and do something with World Child or whoever it may be, whether it's charity or something else.
Having served for a second time here in Afghanistan, Captain Wales is now back in the UK and ready to pick up his duties as Prince Harry once again.
I will continue to bounce between my army job and the other job, of which people back home seem to fail to understand. They seem to think that if they see me out doing something, whether it's charity work or whether it's just out on a weekend, yes, funny enough, we get weekends off, all the army do. Yes, I have to juggle my time between flying this thing and doing the other charity stuff, which can be, arduous, but I'm lucky I've got a job lots of people haven't. So I'm never going to whinge or complain about that, simply.
With 2014 looming, he may not now return again to theatre, but he goes home with the knowledge that, like any other member of the British military, he was part of the effort to keep Afghanistan safe. Away from Afghanistan, Prince Harry's charity work has been hugely important to him, with military charities and the values they promote especially close to his heart.
I've got Walking with the Wounded South Pole adventure coming up. Medically, if I can do that, that's perfect, because I'd love to do it, because missing out on the North Pole thing was a real dig in the ribs. But that was another experience I had with a bunch of military guys who are really sound, and it's nice to see the effect it's had as well. I think seeing on the news ex-servicemen and women being used to incorporate the training and the standards that are sort of within the army. I'm not going to bore you with it, but it's nice to see that the military is being used to bring along youth as such. Because I think the family bond that happens in the military is second to none, especially within the British military. And those standards that we pride ourselves on and that seriously that work and show that they work can be used more in schools, not necessarily for antisocial behaviour, just in general. I think for teamwork and stuff like that. I think it's an opportunity that should have been used a long time ago.